What's up, guys? Welcome back. Ragnarok here with episode number 38 of our Mortal Empires Warhammer 2 Karl Franz campaign. Right, so before I get right into this, I just want to make a quick note. So last time,
Bring me to my men.
I was very disconcerted about the skill tree. A lot of Franz's skills were missing, and I thought it had something to do with me changing from DirectX 11 to DirectX 12. However, I keep the game on auto enable updates, and CA had just released a rather big update, the Feast Dag update, and I had no idea that this came out. So when I was trying to figure out what was wrong, it was actually because of the Feast Dag update, which they've redone like a lot of the skill trees. For example, Franz's skill tree is now these skills down here are all 1 point skills rather than 2 points, and they've also changed things so that the mounts are independent of one another, so you don't actually have to sink points into Warhorse, Imperial Pegasus. You can just wait for Deathclaw until he gets to the right level, though. You do have to keep him on foot, though. Yeah, so anyway, in order to continue the campaign with all of our skills, I've had to roll the game back to the Vampire Coast beta. So that's what I've done. However, because I had recorded that last episode on the Feast Dag update, the actual save file didn't work, so I had to go back to the previous. Thank goodness I back up the save files. So I loaded the save file from episode 36 and then was able to, basically what I did, rather than record the previous video for a third time, and the second time because of the technical difficulties, rather than record the last episode for the third time, what I did was I just basically retraced my steps from last episode, and I auto-resolved the battle here at Zvork and auto-resolved the battle here at Greenstead. But I think I did things in exactly the same order. So things might be just a smidge off, but we more or less in this exact same situation as we were previously. So yeah, a little bit of housekeeping there for you guys to just keep you guys updated as to what's going on. So if things look a little bit off, that's basically the main reason why. Anyway, let's get back into the game and see if we can get some more work done. So the plan is to raise this province. I don't want to stay down here. I want to prepare for war with Manfred. And we're gonna seek peace with the von Karsteins, I think. But before we do that, I think we can assassinate this guy. Or one of these guys, rather.
Tools of judgment ready.
Good job. Alright, cool. And yeah, unfortunately the von Karsteins have one more settlement way the fuck down here in the mountains, but I'm not gonna trudge through all of this territory to get there. Who knows, that'll probably piss off the dwarves, the orcs, and we're just could end up getting dragged into unnecessary wars. So even though I really would like to finish off the von Karsteins, take that last settlement, they're pretty weak now. Strength rank 72, so hopefully someone else will finish them off for us. We'll see if we can get some coin from them. We can't get more than 2,000. Is that all they have? Yeah. All right. Let's actually see if we can. We might as well get non-aggression with them as well.
If you insist.
And hasn't hurt our strength or our reliability rating, rather. Who is actually ranked number 1? I think Manfred. Yeah, Manfred is still number 1. Greenstone's are number 3. Or number 2. Norska is actually number 4. But, I mean, it's still early on. It's still very, very early in the campaign, so a lot of that could change as we go. Franz, just get a little bit of replenishment here. We'll have him come out and grab this treasure as we wait for these provinces to the public order to deteriorate and wait for them to rebel. I would set him to raid stance, but I'm pretty sure he will get negative traits for raiding his own territory, which obviously we don't want, so I'd like to avoid that if we could. And for Solon, we'll start going with some cleanse corruption.
Praise be to Sigma.
Dante's gonna come back here. He's gonna head for this settlement. Migadal. I don't know. I can't pronounce it.
I serve Sigma.
And Bruffin, what are we gonna do with you? I'd leave you here to help with public order. Ooh, you know, we're gonna get a rebellion in Averheim.
Champion of the faith.
To actually get you over to there, I think he should be safe. I think, well,
what orders?
by safe I mean he should be able to. This army should be able to take on turn 1 rebel force. They should be able to handle that, even if they are in forced march. Should be able to handle that. So should be okay there. And I'm pretty sure the rebellions happen in the major settlements. One more turn, we get another build slot here, which is fantastic. And
I will marshal the men.
Grunwald, I think what we'll do with Grunwald, -10 here, -4 here. And what do we got here? -6 here. We are working towards Divine Sanctum. I think after that we'll probably do Purge Dark Cults. But we are... Let me get this upgraded. Yeah, I think probably... Really... Ooh, you know what? Maybe we'll save it because I really want to get this. I'd really like to upgrade this first. To be perfectly honest. The Imperial Port, I think, is going to be a little bit more valuable. We don't need the shrines just yet. Over here we've got decent. This is not a priority at the moment. I think getting the Imperial Port built is. Only 3 more turns for the Imperial Palace.
Now
I think, ooh, actually got some.
yes, my lord.
Why don't you have him go out there and grab that treasure? We're thinking to send Grunwald towards... Go Sunken Chest. Is Weisenberg, until we can get Confederation with Weisenland, this province is going to be perpetually rebelling.
Come then, only Sigma's god, Ulrich.
That's just really difficult. Single settlements really difficult to
the provinces.
keep them under control.
Onwards.
So, I mean, it's only -5. Once we get those taxes, corruption, military crackdown is helping. Yeah. So we'll send him that way. And Gruppen can deal with the rebellion here in Averheim, and then he can meet up with Dante. We'll send the 2 of them, the 2 armies, towards that settlement, and we're gonna raise that settlement as well. Just create a nice buffer of say, yeah, we just want to make sure that our flanks are secure before we start working on taking down Manfred. I think things look good. I think we're gonna save this cash so that we can build that port. Minute rebellion. Yeah. Don't think there's anything else to do in diplomacy. I'll just double check it quickly here.
By the light of the lady,
Tonya.
I am King Leoncor.
Yeah. Still hates us. These guys we can't negotiate with. Greenskins, I doubt they're going to go for non-aggression. It's Redhorn tribe I'm a little concerned about, but I just don't know where they are. It would have been great if we could have finished them off completely, but anyway, back to Sword of Justice. As the marshal approached, the knights and commanders fell silent. Helborg strode into the center of gathered men. "Where is General Schwarzhelm?" he asked. His voice was as weathered as the granite of the bastion. No one knew. Seeing the indecision around him, Grunwald came forward. He was as senior a commander as any of the others. "He fights still, my lord," he said, bowing deferentially. Helborg turned to face him. His glance was piercing, unforgiving. "The day is won," said Helborg. "What fighting is there to do?" Grunwald hesitated. Making excuses for his master was a dangerous game. Schwarzhelm spoke for himself. He felt caught between two titans. "While beasts remain alive, there remains fighting to do," came a deep voice from the shadows. Schwarzhelm emerged from the gloom beyond the brazier light. He looked terrifying. His armor dripped with dark blood, and his heavy beard was caked in gore. His blade was smeared with it. He looked as though he'd waded through a well of entrails. Even Helborg seemed taken aback. Schwarzhelm approached him, leaving his blade unsheathed. As he came, he tore his helmet from his head. His expression was hard to read in the dark. Grunwald had witnessed his savage departure after the death of Ragnarok. He looked scarcely less angry now. Awkwardly, the two men embraced. That was as it should be, brother warriors congratulating one another after a crushing victory. But all present could see the stilted movements, the grudging hand clasp. Schwarzhelm still smoldered with resentment, and the fire would not be put out easily. "This is your victory, Ludwig," said Helborg. None but he could have used Schwarzhelm's given name. "That it is," snapped Schwarzhelm, and turned away. None but he could have shown his back to the marshal. Grunwald looked at Tirov, who looked at Morgard. None knew what to do. Even Gruffin seemed uncertain. Then, from far below, a trumpet sounded. 3 notes, long and mournful, a signal for the end of the battle. The last of the beasts had been killed or driven into the trees. That seemed to break the spell. Helborg's granite face broke into an unconvincing smile. "Yours will be the honor, my friend," he said, addressing Schwarzhelm's viscera-smeared shoulders. "You may count on it." "It had better be," muttered the Emperor's champion, as he stalked back off into the dark. Alright, it's a good place to stop, I think. There's a little break in the text there. Next section. So the Empire troops survive, the Empire army survives, but a little bit of resentment growing between these two champions of the Empire, so it will definitely be interesting to see how all this plays out as we progress through the novel. Got some pirates down here. Rogue pirates or something.
Servant of the faith.
Rebellion in Ireland. Where is the rebel force? Did Weisenland deal with the rebellion force? They must have. I don't know. I didn't. You guys would know if you guys were watching the enter, and I guess you guys will know. But I don't seem. Doesn't seem like this military crackdown. So the rebellion is sorted one way or the other. That's freaking weird. Right. I definitely want to. I want to get roads here. I want to build this up. It would be nice to get the defenses going, but I think the priority is the Imperial port, so we'll build that first. Grunwald, I'm going to position you at Grunberg so that you can get over here to Weisenberg quickly. The only trouble is if we put him into Weisenberg, it's going to prevent the rebellion. But if we don't bring someone over here, more than likely the rebellion is gonna be able to defeat that garrison. So kind of in a tough spot there.
true servant of Sigma.
Alright. Oh, look at this. Isabella. Well, first of all, let's see if we can get rid of this vampire.
You are judged.
That'd be great.
No.
Failure. That's unfortunate.
Champion of the faith.
Alright, Dante, I want you to come back
I will do anything for
towards
Sigma.
Grinstead. Can you actually get in there?
My
The next
journey
turn we're going to
begins.
attack the orcs here.
Let me think about it. No.
Can quite get inside the settlement. And we'll
Protector
have
of the
we'll have
weak.
Gruppen come over here and
Following
support.
Sigmar's path.
Alright, let's see here. Got a razor standard, that might actually be helpful with those Reichsguard. Peasant, income from all buildings plus 1%. Wow, that's pretty good. Plus 1%, great. I mean, fuck, why not? Might as well. Bolus is leveled up. Let's go with Net of Amontok. And there's actually, yeah, I almost forgot about this. This I think I picked up in the one of the auto resolve battles. And Epicurus, I guess we'll give you this relic sword plus 4% weapon strength. Good enough. Alright, so these two will deal with those orcs. We'll raise that city. Franz,
The
you
nation
sir,
calls. In the name
come
of
down
Magnus.
here and take this. Go with Fell Cargo. Treasury 1500. Cool. Oh shit. Minus 10% upkeep for all units. Attrition. Minus 50%. Oh, nice. Lasts for 10 turns. Wow, that'll make a little
Bring
bit
me
of
to
a
my
difference.
men.
I think I'm actually gonna leave him
Moving
out
off.
here on the water for one turn, just so we get a little bit of an extra negative to the public order. Few more turns, 3-4 more turns before this rebels, and then
Now.
we'll just position Franz on the border here and get ready to swoop in there and just crush the rebellion and raise the settlement. And then we'll do the same thing here and the same thing here. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but this will completely secure our southern flank. We won't have to worry about anything down here being attacked from the south while we move into the north. And I think if there is trouble down here in Averheim or Weisenberg, we can always send Gruppen down to deal with that. But I think we're going to send these 3 armies. As soon as this rebellion is sorted, we'll send Gruppen back this way, back to the Reichland, start recruiting some great swords for the Emperor, for the Emperor's army. Alright, so this is good. We can actually build here now. Those roads going. That will help with our campaign movement. But don't see much of the vampires. Don't know what they're up to right now. Okay, we've got some Skaven there. But as soon as we get rid of this agent, I guess it's not
Who wishes the
crucial for us to get rid of that agent there.
Empire.
A little bit concerning that Isabella's sitting in our territory here. You know, this army is complete trash. Though this would be really annoying to fight against, I think.
Is it time?
I guess we should probably start sending Verstholen up this way to keep an eye on the vampires. Or at least to scout See what they're up to. Anyway, I don't think there's anything left for us to do here this turn.
I am the blood. It's
Just
late
keep
in
checking
the
this,
day.
but I don't think he's gonna want non-aggression with us.
It is time. Come then, messenger. Spit.
Greenskins, I don't think they will.
But do equip.
Yeah, as soon as we deal with Manfred, I'd really like to... I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, I'd like to secure all this territory and then leave some Empire forces here to... just as a buffer between us and Chaos when Chaos comes down. And then I don't know at what point we're going to move into the mountains on the dwarves, but once all this northern area is taken control of, I'd like to come down here and fight with the orcs, because I do want to at some point pick up Galmaraz, because that's gonna help with the public order as well.
I command here.
And then once we get Galmaraz, I think we won't have to worry about public order too much anymore, especially with the technologies and the Imperial Palace built. Dawn broke cold and cheerless. The watery sun crested the eastern horizon, but did little to banish the heavy, low cloud. Though the worst of the rain had passed, the air was still chill. With the destruction of the beasts, the combined forces of Schwarzhelm and Helmberg had camped as well as they could on the rock of the bastion. Out of a combined force of more than 7,000, fewer than 3,000 remained. The heaviest casualties had been among those who had manned the pitiless walls of rock. Despite the cold, the surviving troops had slept as heavily as the dead. Grunwald himself had drifted into unconsciousness as soon as his head had hit the gravel of the terrace. When he awoke, the sunrise was long gone, and the preparations for the march home were already far advanced. The amalgamated forces would head back to Altdorf and report the utter destruction of the latest Beastman uprising. They would say it had been shattered between the hammer of Helmberg and the anvil of Schwarzhelm. They would say nothing of the botched preparations that had left the army fighting on its own for the best part of a day, or how many lives that had cost. Rubbing his eyes, Grunwald sat bolt upright. He would have happily slept for hours more, but should have awoken earlier. There were things to do, things to organize. He struggled to his feet and looked around. Across the wide bowl of the cauldron, bodies lay in heaps. Some were those of men, most those of beasts. Already vultures were circling above. The stench was ripening. As the day waxed, it would only grow. Even now, he thought he could make out figures picking their way among the cadavers, looking for something they could use. There was a woman, young and slim, with short dark hair, merely yards away from him on the floor of the cauldron. She was oblivious to his presence. He was too tired to be angry, too tired for anything. Grunwald shook his head to clear it. He was still groggy. His clothes clung to his limbs, cold and deadening. "Good morning, Herr Grunwald," came a familiar voice. Andreas turned to face Peter Verstholen. "Counselor," he replied, and there was warmth in his greeting. Verstholen came over to him, and the two men embraced.
From Sigma.
"I'm told I have to thank you for my life," said Grunwald. Verstholen shrugged. "I had some small part in it. Schwarzhelm can be persuaded, if you know the right means. But there was a halberdier captain out there too, a man named Block. If you owe anyone thanks, it is he." "Aye, I know him. Did he make it back to the bastion?" "I was fighting with him before the Doom Bowl arrived. If he's alive, then the general will seek him out. Battle may be the making of a man. Block has advanced his reputation." Alright, cool. Good stuff. Ready for duty. Alright, Uther is ready for action to be called upon if we need him. Bronzy, you stand right there, I think. So, son of a bitch, minus 24. Wish it was minus 25. That would get the rebellion going a little bit sooner. But I don't know. I guess it'll happen when it happens. And the vampires, I guess they went back to their wherever it is there.
They will be judged.
Their last settlement is. So Verstolen, we'll get him to scout ahead and see if we can track down some of their armies, because right now we don't have eyes on them. A lot of corruption coming through these territories, and it's actually seeping into here. So let's get that industry going. Let's get the income boosted if we can. Well, it might be better actually to build this first. Yeah, let's do that.
The nation calls.
One walls. I'm gonna position you right there.
Praise Sigma. It is for the
Going in
best.
camp. Up. His job will be to come over to Weisenberg, deal with the rebellion there. And got time before these provinces rebel. And we want to be careful that we don't have multiple rebellions at the same time, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that. I just want to clear this area out. And let's come over here and get rid of these guys. So what are we up against? They don't have a garrison, so it's just the army. Alright, shouldn't be too tough.
I live to serve the Emperor.
I serve the Helden Hammer. For the Emperor! The Empire!
Praise be to Sigmar, champion of the faith. Your word is my command.
Cast evil out! Sigma is with us!
I think we'd be safe to auto-resolve this, but we haven't had any action all episode, so let's fight this and probably call it a day. Yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit slower episodes the next little while, just while we're, well, I mean by slower episodes, not quite as much action for a little while, just because consolidating our territory, we're just building up some infrastructure, make sure we have that solid foundation, and then just mopping up the situation in the south there with Franz, and just making sure that we don't have any problems with our southern flanks. And then in a couple episodes we should be positioned to take on Manfred and company, so which will be, I think, a much tougher war than fighting the von Karsteins. So but if we're careful and if we make our plans, we plan things well, I think we should be able to get the jump on them.
Ready for war!
And yeah, it'll be important to really strike hard in the beginning and make sure that try and cripple them in the initial stages of the war. Alright, so reinforcements coming here. I think I'm going to set up this area.
Swordsman!
The
Empire endures!
Actually, it's more than likely they will. I mean, the AI in this is obsessed with flanking, so I think we'll set up a couple of swords over there. Put the mortars up like so.
Swordsmen!
And then the rest of the swords will string across this way.
wrath! For Heldenhammer!
Put a couple of crossbows over here. You protect that flank.
Steady, man!
Just gonna keep you in reserve for now.
Servant of Sigma!
Protect that
We are
flank.
Sigma's heirs!
Keep there.
Standing by!
Alright, looks good.
The Empire endures!
Move you guys up slightly. Alright, that looks good.
I speak, you act! For Heldenhammer!
Move the mortars up slightly. Alright, I think that looks pretty secure, and then this flank will be secured by the cavalry coming in.
Crossbowman!
You guys on guard mode.
Ready
You
for
up.
war!
Alrighty.
Very well! Very well! Engage! Yes! Engage! Emperor's might!
The Reichsguard
My
over here.
comrades! Chant the battle hymns!
Alright.
To battle!
Bolas is not yet on a mount, so
For Heldenhammer!
just be careful not to get him caught. Let's go
Ready
see
to
if we can
serve! Taking
take on
position!
some of their cavalry, see if we can catch some of them.
No lingering!
Gonna send one of the Reichsguard
At speed!
over here. This way we'll come
Moving
around
now!
so we can get to those that rock globber.
Sigma calls! Take the ground! To battle!
This is weird, the AI is behaving very strangely.
The Empire endures!
Or just a little different than normal. They usually
Yes, my lord!
very, especially when you have artillery. I guess it's because they have artillery too. Perhaps.
Formation march! Prepare for combat!
They're
Yes,
not
sir. Quickly!
seem inclined to
Reichsguard
defend
knights!
there. Oh shit, you need to get over here.
Find the enemy! At speed!
Hey, we actually caught those wolf riders. Surprising. Like to finish them up before.
Battle awaits!
Before these guys get in here.
Shield
Alright.
of fate!
Pull out.
Faster!
What are we doing over here?
Sigma!
Good, good, good.
The Empire
Let's actually pull
endures!
around.
Quick march! Illuminus calls!
Bring these guys around and let's go for these ranged units. I think, probably. Actually, cancel
Stop!
that.
Warrior priest!
Alright,
Right is
pretty much
might.
sorted.
We're Sigma's heirs!
Moving.
Attack!
Alright, start going for those arrow boys.
Ulrich's wrath!
Get around these guys and get into them.
Moving faster! Formation!
Careful not to get
march!
caught.
Ready! Prepare for combat! Sir! Quick march! Crossbows ready, General! Yes, sir! Quickly! Right start!
They're gonna be annoying. We won't be able to catch them.
Light wizard! No lingering!
Actually caught them. Alright. Get out of there, pull around and get into them.
To battle! Vanish!
There we go.
Yes, quickly!
Let's keep moving you guys up. Yes.
Awaiting orders.
Having trouble catching them.
As you say.
Taking a little bit. Ooh, shit. This is not good.
Reichsguard Knights! Battle ready!
Plato is in trouble.
Reichsguard Knights! By your command! Faith
Let's
in
get
the
in there.
commons. Pray for glory!
So we can get Plato out of there. Come on.
Yes, sir! We serve
Let's
the
do it.
Emperor! Sigmar calls! Ready to smite! For the Emperor! My orders stand!
Get out here.
That's an order!
He is right in the middle of this,
Ready
unfortunately.
for war! Battle awaits! Taking that position!
Fuck, I don't know if we can get him out of there.
Take the ground!
Come on, Plato.
Position!
Gotta get out of there.
Captain of the Empire!
Ready to serve!
Curse the foe! No lingering! Formation, march!
Wow, this is turning. Oh, fuck me. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. Go, 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 go.
March! Yes, sir! Quickly! Take
I think we're gonna save him. Wow, that was close. That was really close. That was fucking sloppy as hell, this battle. Like, could have gone much smoother than this. We can go catch them. Alright, you sir, you're done for the day.
Awaiting your command!
Pretty much just letting the Reichsguard handle this whole battle here.
See to it! None shall held in hammer! It is ready for war!
I should be able to take him on. So we're taking a little bit of damage, but I think we'll be fine.
Ready
And
to
we just
smite.
barely saved Plato. You're one lucky son of a bitch to get out of there. Oh, for fuck's sake, these idiots are coming back.
Crossbowman! Ready to smite! Attack!
These swords up here to help out. I think they're about to get the army lost. Damn, we took a lot of damage here. That was very sloppy battle on my part. I am just not used to the AI being so passive. Usually they just fucking charge right at you, and yeah, you can play things defensively. I'm not used to being on the attack like that. We only lost 50 though, but 50 knights, so good quality units. Most of the damage I think was on Plato, to be honest. Anyway, we're gonna have to be a lot more careful and a lot more organized the next time around. But I think these armies should work really well together. This composition in combination with quite a bit of heavy cavalry should work pretty well together. But no need to run any of these guys down because we can just raise the settlement here. Or there's a settlement battle sitting inside the settlement, so the army's going to be destroyed. So but yeah, the next few turns, next 5 or 10 turns, I would say are going to be just sort of like weeding out rebellions. But once this next sort of rash of rebellions is dealt with, I think public order will be slowly coming under our control, and we won't have to worry about rebellions quite as often. And we can just focus on moving into new areas, new provinces, and just expanding at a more accelerated rate, because the expansion has been kind of slow so far, I know, but I just wanted to really create like a really solid foundation for this campaign with our home provinces. So, and I think we've been able to do that for the most part. I mean, Altdorf is pretty much finished. A little bit of building to do there, but I mean, we've got Altdorf, we've got Rhone, Marienburg. It would have been really nice if we had confederated earlier with Weisenland when we had the opportunity. But what can you do, though? It would be really nice if we could get through this load screen as well. That'd be fucking fantastic. Mortar's doing a bit of work there too. It's always good to see. So we definitely need to get this son of a bitch healed. 201 kills, not bad. And we are just gonna raise this bad boy.
Shields us.
Mission successful. Raise or sack a settlement belonging to any of the following enemies of Nordland. Oh, okay, cool. Diplomatic relations plus 10 with Nordland and treasury plus 750. Spoiler. Cool. Success chance. Potion of strength. Alright. Alright guys, well that is gonna do it for today's episode. We'll pick things up here next time, and we're gonna have some rebellions down here in the not too distant future. Probably gonna have a rebellion over here in Weisenland, but we're gonna send Leonidas Gruppen back to the Reichland, where he's gonna start recruiting some great swords for Karl Franz's army, which it's gonna stretch the income a little bit, but I think it'll be worth it, and we need those great swords to take on the vampires. I think that will give us the edge that we're gonna need. I mean, we want to try and make sure that we have the numbers in the battles, but a little bit of elite infantry will probably go a long way, even if it does sort of cripple our income for a little while. But I mean, the expansion, like I said earlier in the campaign, I don't mind spending more money if we're going to be expanding and compensating that spending by taking new territory, taking and holding new territory. But yeah, things look pretty good for the most part, and we'll just yeah, we'll continue going through this next time. So I think it's episode 39. Hope to see you then. Have yourselves a great day, guys. Ragnarok out.